but they're running away from the fact that like laying off any veterans at all is an insane political prospect for like the administration that runs more or less on like, you know, like American flags on the back of trucks.
Holy, that is so crazy.
You want to do the Trump meeting?
Which one?
Did we do the Musk Doge one?
No, I haven't. I have not done that yet. But I want to see if there's a video of it or something, because I want to see.
Well, there's no video of the meeting.
Yeah.
The Times had people inside. Like, that's how they got it.
This is the one, yeah.
Yeah, no.
All right, you want to start it off? I'm going to go pee real quick while you start.
Marco Rubio was incensed. Here he was in the cabinet room of the White House, the Secretary of State, seated behind the president and listening to a litany of attacks from the richest man in the world. Seated diagonally opposite, across the elliptical mahogany table, Elon Musk was letting Mr. Rubio have it, accusing him of failing to slash his staff. You have fired nobody, Mr. Musk told Mr. Rubio, then scornfully added that the only person he had fired was a staff member from Mr. Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. Mr. Rubio had been privately furious with Mr. Musk for weeks, ever since his team effectively shuttered an entire agency that was supposedly under Mr. Rubio's control, USAID. But in the extraordinary cabinet meeting on Thursday in front of President Trump and around 20 others, details of which have not been reported before, Mr. Rubio got his grievances off his chest. Mr. Musk was not being truthful, Mr. Rubio said. What about the more than 1,500 State Department officials who took early retirement in buyouts? Didn't they count as layoffs? He asked sarcastically whether Mr. Musk wanted him to rehire all those people just so he could make a show of firing them again. Then he laid out his detailed plans for reorganizing the State Department. Mr. Musk was unimpressed. He told Mr. Rubio that he was good on TV, with the clear subtext being that he was not good for much else. Throughout all of this, the president sat back in his chair, arms folded, as if he were watching a tennis match. After the argument dragged on for an uncomfortable time, Mr. Trump finally intervened to defend Mr. Rubio as doing a great job. Mr. Rubio has a lot to deal with, the president said. He is very busy, he is always traveling and on TV, and he has an agency to run. So everyone just needs to work together. The meeting was a potential turning point after the frenetic first few weeks of Mr. Trump's second term. It yielded the first significant indication that Mr. Trump was willing to put some limits on Mr. Musk, whose efforts have become the subject of several lawsuits and prompted concerns from Republican lawmakers, some of whom have complained directly to the president. Cabinet officials almost uniformly like the concept of what Mr. Musk set out to do, reducing waste, fraud, and abuse in government, but have been frustrated by the chainsaw approach to upending the government and the lack of consistent coordination.
Thursday's meeting, which was abruptly scheduled on Wednesday evening, was a sign
this
that
is the beginning of when it gets funny, by the way.
Was a sign that Mr. Trump was mindful of the growing complaints. He tried to offer each side something by praising both Mr. Musk's team that was not present. The president made clear he still supported the mission of the Musk initiative, but now was the time, he said, to be a bit more refined in his approach. This is like the lightest, most like baby criticism that you can give to Elon Musk. From now on, he said, the secretaries would be in charge. The Musk team would only advise. It is unclear what the long-term impact of the meeting will be. Mr. Musk remains Mr. Trump's biggest political financial supporter. Just this week, his super PAC aired $1 million worth of ads that said, "Thank you, President Trump." And Mr. Musk's control of the social media website X has made administration staff members and cabinet secretaries alike fearful that he will target them in public. But if nothing else, the session laid bare the tensions within Mr. Musk's team. And news of the sharp clashes spread quickly through senior ranks of cabinet agencies after it was over. This account is based on the interviews with 5 people with knowledge of the events. In a post on social media after the meeting, Mr. Trump said the next phase of his plan to cut federal workforce would be conducted with a scalpel rather than a hatchet, a clear reference to Mr. Musk's scorched earth approach. Mr. Musk, who wore a suit and tie to Thursday's meeting instead of his usual t-shirt after Mr. Trump publicly ribbed him about his sloppy appearance, defended
do we know what the it's the Times, so their style is not to link to other people.
Yeah.
But I would love to know what he said about Musk.
Yeah.
Like what he said that was the fucking, oh my God, I love it. I love this. I love this.
Yeah.
This is finally some good fucking news.
Yeah. Defended himself by saying that he had 3 companies with a market cap of tens of billions of dollars and that his results spoke for themselves.
All right, let me take this.
He's about to say you bankrupted 7 businesses. He's about to hit him with that one. But you're not a real billionaire. You're fake. You can't go band for band with me, Mr. President.
But he was soon clashing with members of the cabinet. Just moments before the blow up with Mr. Rubio, Mr. Musk, and the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, went back and forth about the state of the Federal Aviation Administration's equipment for tracking airplanes and what kind of fix was needed. Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, jumped in to support Mr. Musk. Mr. Duffy said the young staff of Mr. Musk's team was trying to lay off air traffic controller. What am I supposed to do? Mr. Duffy said. I have multiple plane crashes to deal with now, and your people want me to fire air traffic controllers?
That is probably the best.
Better. It keeps going. It's so
the
good,
best
man.
part.
Mr. Musk told Mr. Duffy that his assertion was a lie. Mr. Duffy insisted it was not. He had heard it from them directly. Mr. Musk, asking who had been fired, said, "Give me their names. Tell me their names." Mr. Duffy said there were not any names because he had stopped them from being fired. At another point, Mr. Musk insisted that people hired under DEI programs were working in control towers. Mr. Duffy pushed back, and Mr. Musk did not add details, but said during the longer back and forth that Mr. Duffy had his phone number and should call him if he had any issues to raise.
I love
the
this.
exchange ended with Mr. Trump telling Mr. Duffy that he had to hire people from MIT as air traffic controllers. These air traffic controllers need to be geniuses, he said.
Dude.
I love it.
Dude,
I love it.
When I see stuff like this, it actually increases my libimeter so hard where I'm like, oh my God, they literally are the stupidest people. Like these are unironically, like Trump is unironically dumb. He's such a dumb guy. It pisses me off how much of a dumb guy he is. He's like,
it's so good.
They gotta be MIT. My uncle went there. My uncle was a genius. He was a professor there. And they gotta be from MIT. It's the greatest university. You gotta be brilliant.
Well, it's also like we need to make sure the air traffic controllers are from MIT because we don't want the people from MIT doing the things that we're laying people off in, like, biomedical research, finding the cure for cancer, finding Alzheimer's treatments. Exploring all that helium-3 that your chat kept telling me about on the moon.
On the moon.
Yeah, like...
It's not cheese, it's helium-3.
Correct. And instead we need those people making sure that planes don't crash into each other, which they weren't doing, by the way, when we had wokeness.
I just... makes me so mad. But it is funny because, like... I like that Duffy has to be the competent guy in this situation because he at the end of the day recognizes that these layoffs are bad, especially at a time when especially at a time when planes are falling out of the sky and there's need for more air traffic controllers, not less. He recognizes that, so he's like, dude, what are you doing?
Okay, I will say.
And then Elon's retort is they're gay.
They're gay.
They're gay.
I'm sorry, they're gay, they're black, they're trans, they're gone. But the thing is that yes, he recognizes that like some of this is wrong or whatever, but I think a more useful way to frame this, right, like within the context of this whole meeting, because it's about to go to like talk about this, like, the VA, for example. We already had state, like this is about, secretaries, presidential appointments who see this guy coming in and stepping all over them, taking their power, fucking up their fiefdom. So like the reason that in this article, by the way, notice how he never says a person said. Yes, they're drawing from accounts, but like this is reconstructed, on deep background, meaning that more likely than not, the person speaking to the 2 reporters, Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan, is somebody who is in the meeting who has an axe to grind and who wants to make Elon look like a putz.
Yeah.
And that's because these people see the threat he poses to their power. They see that like this guy doing what he's doing, like they say in the article, they agree broadly with the objectives of Doge, which is a belief that is in direct conflict with what actually doing that thing means, which is like cutting their nuts off collectively.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder they're pissed. They've been taking a fucking beating in the last
You're
week.
cutting your nose to spite your face because you have this like insane ideological commitment to deregulation, but But that Trump even saying that they're going to use a scalpel instead of a hatchet implies that they certainly recognize the situation, and that they're going to have to be more careful in the future, because otherwise, like, you know, it's going to become too unpopular. Like, these decisions are far too unpopular because they're far too consequential. The Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins, has been dealing with one of the most politically sensitive challenges of all the cabinet secretaries. Mr. Musk's cuts will affect thousands of veterans, a powerful constituency and a core part of the Trump base. Mr. Collins made the point that they should not wield a blunt instrument and cleave off everyone from the VA. They needed to be strategic about it. Mr. Trump agreed with Mr. Collins, saying they ought to retain the smart ones and get rid of the bad ones. Oh my God. In response,
there's just three.
This implies that they believe their own shit, though.
Yeah, well, but this is where it's like this, but also that has like the tone to me of, like, you know, pacifying a baby. Like, there's a quality where they're like, well, of course we're gonna keep the good ones and get rid of the bad ones. I mean, but they're running away from the fact that, like, laying off any veterans at all is an insane political prospect for, like, the administration that runs more or less on, like, you know, like American flags on the back of trucks. The next paragraphs are just a bunch of statements that are all boring.
Yeah. Okay. In response, okay, yeah.
Duffy is with him. Mr. Musk, who later claimed on X that the cabinet meeting was very productive, seemed far less enthused inside the room.
He aggressively defended himself, reminded the cabinet secretaries that he had built multiple billion-dollar companies from the ground up and knew something about hiring good people. Most cabinet members did not join the fray. Mr. Musk's anger, directed at Mr. Rubio in particular, seemed to catch people in the room by surprise, which I'm going to show you in a second, like the aftermath of it, because Trump was asked about it. Another person said Mr. Musk's caustic responses to Mr. Duffy and Mr. Rubio seemed to deter other cabinet members, many of whom have privately complained about the Musk team, from speaking. But it remains to be seen how long this new arrangement will last. Here it is. This is this is Donald Trump getting asked about the clashes that took place, according to the New York Times reporting, between Little Marco and Little Elon.
Mr. President, since you last spoke about it yesterday, some details have come out about your cabinet meeting with Elon Musk.
And even the dick riders in that room, by the way, still cannot stop themselves from engaging with palace intrigue. So this kind of story,
dude, what is this? What is this channel? I don't know.
Dude, that's Real America's Voice, dog. What do you mean? Excuse me.
I'm always so good.
Excuse me.
It's, I swear to God, we have like American Timu media. You know what I mean?
No, everything. Yeah, everything is like this. Everything is like this. All of the independent media is like this now.
Yeah, it's like fucking like China has Shein, and we have like 50 million different conservative media brands.
Yeah, it's great. I love that.
Musk and some clashes potentially between Secretary Rubio and Secretary
No
Duffy.
clash. I was there. You're just a troublemaker, and you're not supposed to be asking that question because we're talking about the World Cup.
You're a
Elon gets a
You're not supposed to be asking that question. First of all, Donald Trump has never shied away from a glaze sesh that is completely irrelevant to whichever world leader is standing next to him. That's his favorite thing, to just make, like, I don't know, the Jordanian king stand next to him as he answers a question about how Zell Disney is a corrupt dictator, or how wonderful the Doja operation has been so far. He just sits there. The Jordanian king just like has to nod his head along, or Keir Starmer or whatever. So obviously, the reason why he's saying you're not supposed to ask that question, the FIFA president is here, not in front of the president of FIFA, is because he doesn't like the question.
And because it's like, it's, and this is the other thing, is like, it's true. Like the premise of it is like very real, and it's probably like the one of the, you know, it's probably given, I mean, to the extent that Trump feels heartburn, it's probably giving him some version of it.
Yeah. Not in front of the FIFA president of all people. Not here, not now. How dare you?
going great with Marco, and they're both doing a fantastic job. There is no clash.
Mr. President,
Who are you with? Who are you with?
NBC.
No wonder. That's
Mr. President,
NBC.
who has more authority, Elon Musk or the cabinet secretary?
Any other questions about the World Cup?
Can we unpick this rule?
I'd love to discuss
This is something.
Yeah.
His mannerisms are great. All right. Well, all right. Finally, it took like a month. It took 6 weeks.
It took longer. It took longer than this shaky allegiance to kind of start crumbling a little bit.
It is like, I think it's, not counting the pre-inauguration period because those are, that's preseason. It does really seem that like 6 weeks was about the time that most people, like if you gave it to them, would have said that like Musk and Trump would start,
All right, let's see what else what else happened when they asked the same question again later.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
She says, "Want to follow up on the cabinet meeting, sir, about like Marco Rubio and Elon Musk?"
Musk will play an advisory role. Doge will play.
We're talking about FIFA. Thank you very much.
He's like, he loves the sport. He is just so. This man does not fuck around.
He loves ball.
Yeah, he's like, when is football
He's like,
time?
I'm sorry, we're here to talk ball.
When is football time? When is football time?
Why are we talking about Marco?
Yeah.
Why are we talking about little Marco? I'm here to talk about
Does
ball.
little Marco no ball? If not, I don't care. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to
I'm
hear
sorry, I
it.
thought we were here to talk about Gooners.
Man.
Are we not here to talk about Gooners?
And they're both great guys. And by the way, they both get along fantastically well.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Okay.
man. Mom and Dad are doing just fine. They're not going anywhere. She's just spending a night outside of the house because the bed's not comfortable. Everything is fine.
And it's your fault that they're breaking up.
It's actually, you're being a troublemaker. You're not supposed to ask that question, or they're not going to stay together. If you're a good boy, though, maybe they'll stay together. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't.
Joe has done unbelievably as Secretary of State, and Elon is a very unique guy who's done a fantastic job.
Do you think he needs to be reined in, Mr.
Enough.
President?
Enough. It's FIFA.
Enough. It's FIFA.
It's FIFA. I don't play 2K. I don't play 2K.
Enough.
It's not a good game. It's not real. It's a Mickey Mouse game.
Enough. It's FIFA.
Best 2 of 3 in FIFA. Golden goal.
Yeah.
5-star teams.
All right.
Thank you.
God damn, dude. Holy shit.